All right. So
Okay.
we are in business. Okay, as you all know that I am Dr. Eurydice Moore, and we're gonna be I'm gonna be sharing. I've been in business since 2004. I've been writing grants since 1985 for different jobs that I had. And through the years, I have found out information that our counterparts know. And then by the time we catch up, they change the game, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
So a lot of time we hear about the 501c3 and it's associated with funding, being eligible to get grants, but it's so much more. It's so many tax exemptions with this. And I found out that my people didn't know. All they knew was grant, grant, grant. And that with the 501c3, people can get donations. And then at the end of the year, they get a contribution letter. And that's all they knew, contribution letter and grant. So I found some stuff out that I wanted to share. Okay. So we're going to go on and get started. My mission is twofold, and it always been twofold, and that is to help nonprofits and for-profit people in setting up a nonprofit or a for-profit business. And then the second part of my mission is that once I got people set up, they had a 501c3s or they had a business structures and licenses, is to help them become eligible for funding. And I got workshops on that, telling people what it is that they need in order to get funded. Because after you get your business structure, your setup, then the funders got requirements. So I walk people through that. So I am not an attorney or a CPA or an accountant. I encourage people as I share information. I am a business consultant. I share information with people. And then if they need additional information or it's out of my lane, I encourage them to talk to an attorney or to an accountant. So that's my disclaimer. My credentials, I have 30 plus years of combined education and experience and helping assist churches and schools and agencies in requiring $3 million in funding. Um, my first business, the one in 2004, was formerly Eurydice Moore and Associate. Then I changed the name and got an LLC. And so far, year to date, I have serviced 12,000 plus clients and distribution of free grant information, consultation, and helping them, set up their status. Okay. Then in 2016, right before COVID, God gave me a desire to do the grant writing business. I didn't have a grant writing business. I just help people get their 501c3s and set businesses up and did workshops. But then all of a sudden I had a desire to write, to take the grant writing skill set and make a business out of it. And that came into friction in 2016, along with offering coaching and training and other items. I'm very happy to announce that Eurydice, that's the name of the business, named after me, is a MBE, WBE certified consulting firm. That's a minority business enterprise, women business enterprise. And then we have some other credentials. We got the DBE, the EWOS, the BEP, and all this kind of stuff. But in order to get these others, you got to have the MBE, WBE certification, which make you eligible to be a government contractor and you can you're eligible to respond to bids from the government, city, state, county, and federal. And you're eligible to do business with the government. You got to have this certification. And I'm very happy to announce I get a lot of invitations, but I haven't found anything that I wanted to bid on. I'm very careful because when you're dealing with the government, if you mess up a project, it's a one-time thing and they ban you. So, you know, my daughter be like, come on, get a contract, man, get a contract. I'm like, we want to make sure we have the capacity to do it. And we want to do a good job. But I'm happy that people contact me and I look through things. And so far I've been telling people no, because I felt like we wasn't a match. Okay, so much for that. So if you all are business people, eventually you might want to consider doing business with the federal government. Okay, I got links here. I have a store, a virtual store that you can visit and see all types of items, ebooks, presentations, webinars I have in demand. And then I have people that go, I ask them to give me a 5-star Google rating if they satisfied with this. And then there's a link to set up a consultation with me. And then if you're interested in alternative funding, there's a link that address that. Okay, my journey, I told you a little bit about my journey that, you know, in 2004, I actually went into business, been writing grants since 1985. I am in Chicago, a native of Chicago, born, grew up, raised on the west side of Chicago in the East Garfield community. Right now, I'm in East Lakeview, out all the way out here on the north side. But if you're interested in my journey in life and how I got into business, there's a book. I was raised by my great grandmother and my grandmother. My grandfather was in the house, but he didn't have no say so. So I was raised by my great grandmother. He just sat there quietly, all meek and humble. And so, yeah, my great grandmother raised me from 3 months, and she lived to see me graduate from college the first time. I've been to college several times. The first time she got to see me graduate before she passed on. And I used to be very sickly and had a learning disability, and God just came in and healed me all up and got me all through colleges, plural with the S. So, so much for me. This book, it can be bought on Amazon or with the publisher, and it has a 5-star rating. I have had people to contact me from China and the United Kingdom saying that they enjoyed the book. So I just give God the glory and praise. All right. Now, I offer these workshops in cycle. They come back around. So don't get nervous if you feel like, oh, I missed that. It's coming back around. How I briefly mentioned the missed deal. How to use the 501c3 to get free property. We did that. Rita, did we do that this month or last month? This month. A couple of weeks ago, and we had a full house. And because I have had clients, I discovered some more stuff in the process of being in the industry. I have had clients, I set them up and they like, I don't have anywhere to operate my programs. So this workshop is designed. And then I have had clients to buy property, go into debt, acquire mortgages so that they can have a place to have their run their program. And I'm like, there's free properties. You can use your 501c3 to get free properties. It's legal and it's legitimate. It's just a lot of us don't know about it. And so I cover that. That workshop is coming back in July if you ladies like to make it back. And then we're going into today's workshop, the 14 different ways to use the 501c3. I even teach a workshop on how to write a letter of intent, which is a mini proposal. It's a one-page document. You should keep that on you at all times, because as you go to dinners and galas and different places, you run into some important people, and then you can have something in your hand to tell them about you and what you do. And then I quarterly I offer a free online grant application workshop where you can learn how to write your own grants. So that got funded by the city of Chicago last year, and I offered it every month. And then the funding ran out December of last year, and I was able to pick up 4 sponsors. And so now this is offered quarterly. So the next session will be June 25th. You get information on that because you in my email. And then these September and then December. All right. So if you ever miss a workshop, it's coming back around. Then I have a nonprofit masterclass, non-for-profit co-host. Okay, let me go on. Okay, let's see what's next. I have free gifts for both of you. The first gift is a free 15-minute consultation, retail value $175, where if you click on this link, it will take you to an area where you can book an appointment with me. And it's usually Thursdays or Fridays. That's when I do consultation, Thursdays and Fridays, starting at 2 p.m., ending at 7 p.m. And so you click, you book it, it shows up in my system, and then I call you up, and then we do the 15 minutes. And then your second gift is a copy of this presentation. Okay, that's your second gift. For your use, please don't share with other people. Number one, you took the time out to register for this class. And number two, you paid for it. So you let them come, register, and let them pay. Okay, because you went all out, and I appreciate it. Okay, now we're getting into the workshop. These are some, okay, I might have to move this over. I don't know, can y'all still see? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. This is what we're gonna cover. I said there's 4 I discovered, and it could be more. It could be more. But my discovery so far has been 14 different ways to use your 501c3. And we're going to look at each one of these ways. Okay. Look at that. The 501c3 is not just about grants. Okay. That's a subtopic of this workshop. Look at that. Okay. Okay. This is 1 and 2. I combine them because they're similar, but it's 2 different things. When you have the 501c3, you are exempt from paying federal taxes. You are also exempt from paying state taxes on the funding that comes into your organization. You pay no taxes. If you don't have the 501c3, because it's not mandatory for you to have the 501c3. IRS says you don't have to have it, but it's a catch-22 situation. And I'm going to share with you how it is a catch-22 situation. Number one, if funding comes in over $600, you have to pay $600 and over. You have to pay taxes, federal and state. But if you got that 501c3, You don't have to pay taxes. And another thing, if you don't have that 501c3, people are looking for tax write-off, and you can have fantastic program, be dedicated, good workers, providing good services. But if you don't have that 501c3 and they give a donation, you cannot issue them a contribution letter. And if they don't get the contribution letter, then they can't get the tax write-off. So it's a catch-22. I encourage people to get a 501c3 so that your organization can benefit. You can save money for the organization. Okay. Okay. Another benefit, when you have that 501c3, you are eligible to apply for the sales tax exemption. Let me caution you. A lot of people get hyper, they get excited when they get that 501c3 from the Internal Revenue Service, and they go to Staples, they go to Jewel, they go to Office Depot, they go to all these places waving the paper. I got my 501c3. Huh? And then some have put merchandise in their cart and got up to the cashier. Okay. And handed to them and said, I know I'm eligible for a sales tax exemption. And they like, yeah, you're right, but this ain't the document. Sales tax exemption is another document. It is not the 501c3. You apply for the sales tax exemption from your state Department of Revenue, the State Department of Revenue nonprofit division. In Illinois, in some states, they will issue you either a letter with a number, an assigned number, and it usually starts with an alphabet. And then behind it is a bunch of numbers. Or they issue certificates that will have that number. So, and then once you get that, because you got to empty out the cart now, because a person that got all hyper and everything, so now you got to put everything back. Well, go ahead and pay for it and pay taxes. So once you have this document, it's a separate document. It is not the 501c3. Then the stores are going to do one or two things. Some of them have like a booklet. They'll make a copy of it and put it inside this book that's by the register. Or they will issue you a card with the store name on it. And then they have the name of the organization and have your sales tax number. And they'll issue a card. Or they may register you, put you inside the registry, press a couple of buttons, and then you come up. But the 501c3 is not the document for to get sales tax exemption. It is separate, and you go through the Department of Revenue. Okay, I'm gonna take a breather right now. Do anybody have any questions on what I have shared so far? I'm gonna stop every now and then. Okay. What else you could do with the 501c3? Well, if you are a nonprofit and you have property, or you considering property, water bill exemption, you can apply. This is through the water department. You can apply to be exempt from paying a water bill. They will tell you, you will have to fill out an application. They'll tell you what document approved to prove that you are a nonprofit and you are eligible. And then once you have been approved, then you don't have to pay any water bill. but the nonprofit has to own the property. It has to be in the name of the nonprofit. It cannot be your personal property, rental property, or a mortgage that's in your name. It has to be in the nonprofit. Okay. Property tax exemption. So your nonprofit has property and it's in the name of the nonprofit, not in the name of the CEO, the executive director, program. No, it's not. It's not in the name of a person, but it's in the name of a nonprofit. You are eligible to apply for property tax exemption, and you do that through the county office. You fill out an application, you go to a hearing, and then you submit the document that they request. And then based on that, they determine if you're eligible for a property tax exemption. So they exempt you, you will not have to pay property taxes on the property of the nonprofit. Okay, when you have the 501c3, you're eligible for reduced rentals and leasing opportunity. Let's say you want to have an event at a venue. Okay, they don't advertise it. You got to ask. They very few of them were listed on their website about nonprofit rates. They usually promote the market rate. I give you an example. One day I called the Golden Dome, the Park District. They have like a ballroom, and I pretended I was a for-profit. I wanted to know how much would it cost me to rent the ballroom. They told me $500 for a few hours. Then I waited a couple of days, called back, pretend to be a nonprofit because I wanted to know what was the rate for the nonprofit. And they told me it was $200. So whenever you decide to do a gala, an event, a banquet, some type of fundraiser where you got to use space, they have nonprofit rate. So you want to clearly make it known that you represent a nonprofit and what is the nonprofit rates. There used to be a time they would let people have the space for free, but them days is gone. It's about the almighty dollars these days. Okay. Okay, this is what I was coming in. You might find somebody every now and then that will donate space. And they ask for a copy of your 501c3s, and they get the write-off and you can have the space, but that's fading now. Okay. Now, when you have the 501c3, people can donate property to you. They could donate commercial property, rental property, residential property. They could donate vehicle, artwork. They could donate cars. They could donate to you. You can receive property donation. At one time I had a nonprofit, but I let it go because I changed route, and I had a lady to donate a building to me. And so it's legitimate that people can donate to you. I went to the closing, and she signed the property over to me. I had to give her a copy of the 501c3, excuse me, and I gave it to her attorney, and I just signed off it. I didn't have to pay no closing costs or nothing. So people can donate properties, and in that workshop that I mentioned that's coming back around in July, I talked about the different ways you could get the free properties. Okay. Um, okay. Having that 501c3 make you eligible for people to donate equipment to you. They can donate equipment. Nonprofit can receive donated equipment like computers, PA system, DVD player, television, and etc. from retail stores. Everybody not gonna want to give you money, but they don't mind giving you inventory, especially when they're getting ready to get the new stuff. They want to get rid of them displays that's on the floor. That's a good way to get something. They want to get rid of this displays and put the new stuff out there for display. Or they got a room with a whole bunch of computers, laptop that has not moved. So they rather go ahead and give it to you and get a copy of your 501c3 and get a write-off. That's better than having zero. Okay. So let's see what else. Okay. With the 501c3, people can donate household goods to you. Let's say you're a nonprofit and you're doing housing, transitional housing, single room occupancy, shelters, and you need linen, you need towels, you need soap, deodorant, okay, housing, okay, you need pots and pans and need pillows and sheets, all kind of linen, you know, that can be donated. You don't have to pay out your pocket for it. And you can hit stores like Macy, you know, you can hit different types of retail stores. You know, you could even have furniture donated to you. You can have like the living room furniture donated to you. You got a housing program and don't have to pay for a living room set, don't have to pay for no bed. People can donate these things to you, to the nonprofit, okay? And if someone donate a card to you, please make sure it's in the name of the nonprofit. I had a pastor, somebody donated gave him a car and he put it in his name instead of his church. And I told him, I said that car should be in the name of your church, which is a nonprofit, which has the 501c3. Now, if IRS do some checking, you can go to jail. You can go to jail. So you want to be careful that when you are acquiring donated items, that it is in the name of the nonprofit. I can't say it enough because you don't want to be accused of misappropriation of funds. You don't want to be accused of fraud. You do not want to go to jail. Okay. All right. Are there any questions for me on what we had covered so far? No question. Eligible for office furnishing. Your nonprofit have offices. Furniture store can donate furniture, desks, those coffee tables, those end tables, lamps. They could donate couches and chairs. Okay, they could donate the desk that people can work on PCs or laptops. Okay, That 501c3 make you eligible for office furnishing and supply donation. Okay, with that 501c3, you get all types of office furniture and you could get supplies. Those supplies could be envelopes, it could be corporate seal. You know, you get a corporate seal, um, ink for the computers, office supply, papers, notebook, pen. I'm just giving an example of office supply. And you can get that from retail stores, furniture stores, private contributors. Okay, so we're looking at how to use the 501c3. Okay, now as a nonprofit, you can contact the United States Postal Service, or you go online and you do a search. With you being a charity, a nonprofit, you could fill out an application to get reduction rate in mailing. Like if you want to mail, let's say you got 500 letters that got to go out to 500 places, then you would not pay the normal rate for mailing. Okay. As a nonprofit, you would be eligible to get a tremendous cut in rates. Okay. All right. Let's see what this one is. Will. When you have that 501c3, people can write your nonprofit into a will, bequest, estate plan. Private contributors can leave monetary contribution upon their death. Insurance policy, they could write you in their insurance and leave money to the nonprofit. That 501c3 makes you eligible. I have a will and I have a nonprofit inside of the will to leave a portion of that insurance money too. So people can do that. Funding. Now we're getting to what we are so used to hearing about. Grant. Grants come in all different levels. All different levels. Let me tell you the origin of grants before we get in here. Where did grant money come from? Grant money come mainly from taxes, and it comes from income tax and sales tax and property tax. Grant money, the majority of grant money comes from taxes. Local means city, the state, the county, and the federal. After all these taxes, they put a portion of it to the side to go towards grants, issuing grants. Then you have some other people like Family Foundation. Okay, Family Foundation, they want to honor somebody. It's kind of like memorial, a matriarch pass, or maybe a child didn't make it out their teen years and they had the ambition of one day being a doctor or a lawyer, but it ain't gonna happen now because their life cut short. So they put together a foundation. They put together a family foundation. It's ran by the family, and they put so much money in there, you know, and then they issue out grant, and the grant is associated with the memorialized person interest. Okay. So let's say that that person that didn't make it out the teen year, but loves sports. And so the grants would go towards youth, towards sports, baseball or basketball, in honor of that person. Okay. Private foundations and corporation. Okay. A lot of business, especially the big ones, they are looking for um, tax write-off. They make a promise to the Internal Revenue Service. We're going to give back to the community. We're going to give back to the community. And so you contact them and you complete the grant. They select you. And then, but before they turn the money over to you, you got to give them a copy of your 501c3, or either they do a check with the Internal Revenue Service, and the Internal Revenue Service have a master list. They got a database that lists every 501c3 nonprofit. And if your name show up, then you will get the grant. If the name of the nonprofit don't show up, that means that you are not a 501c3 organization. So you're not going to get the money because they are looking for a tax write-off. So these are big businesses, billion-dollar businesses that are doing that. Then you have businesses like the mom and pop grocery stores, small businesses that are now, issuing out grants to help a community through a nonprofit. See, people are choosing nonprofit to do their legwork because they too busy to do it, or they just trying to honor somebody. So they look for a nonprofit that have a similar interest as them. Let's say somebody is interested in just helping youth. They want to see after school program. They want to see mentoring. They want to see training. Okay. So they would look for a nonprofit that have a similar interest, which is their mission. And then they check you out, and if they like you, then they release a grant award to you. Okay. Then some funders might be interested in housing. They realize that there is a housing shortage, and it's national. It's not just Chicago, Illinois. It's national. Extreme housing shortage. And they want to connect with nonprofits that are building housing. And that's usually the Community Development Corporation, where they building housing for seniors. They're doing affordable housing. They're doing low income housing. So they like, we're interested in people having somewhere to live. So they're gonna seek out a nonprofit that is serving as a nonprofit developer, and they putting together housing, making housing available for low income. Okay. So now, as I said before, local, state, county, and federal, they all give grants. They all give grants. So when it comes to the local, which is your city, another word for city, the state, the county, and federal, you could go to their website, free of charge. Go to the search and type in grants and find out what grants are available on the city level. Find out what grants. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. let's say Chicago, because I'm in Chicago. So if I want to know if Chicago got some grants, then I will go to the City of Chicago website, go to the search bar and put grants. Hit that bad boy, and then it will bring up, if they have any available, the grants that are available. State, I would go to the state of Illinois. The state of Illinois have a website. So I would go to the state of Illinois, go to their search bar and type in grants. And if they have grants available, then it'll be pulled up. Okay. Okay. I live in Cook County. There's a lot of counties. There's DeKalb, there's Henry, LaSalle. There's so many counties, but I am in Cook County. So if I want to know if my county have any grants, I go to the website, go to the search bar and type in grants. And if they have any grants, then it will come up and then I can check it out. If they have, and then you have to do that periodically. And yes, you're gonna have that 501c3 to even complete any grants, whether it's a family, private foundation, corporation, business, or the city, the state, the county. You got to have that 501c3 because they're gonna ask you to upload a copy. Now let's go to federal. As we know, we have the president. And then the president have what is called a cabinet. And there are 12 members that represent 12 industries in the United States. Okay. Each one of those cabinets issue out grants. And you may qualify to submit grant for several cabinets. Okay, I'm just gonna say a few names. There are 12. All right, we have what, and you have heard of them, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Human Services, the Department of Health. I think they combine Health and Human Services. They combine them to the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Education, the Department of Commerce, Department of Labor. Okay. Now I named 5 cabinets. There are 7 others. I'm not gonna name those. I don't even remember. But they all start off with department. And guess what? All 12 of them issue grants. All 12 of them. Which means, let me give you an example. If you are a nonprofit, and let's say you got educational services, and then you got a health program. So you can submit a grant to the Department of Education. You can submit a grant. You want to do a health fair, or you want to have doctors come out and give an exam, or the dentist come out and do free dental work. Then you can submit a grant to the Department of Health and Human Services. So you see there's 2 grants going to 2 different departments. And guess what? Each department have their own website. And what you do is go to the search bar. Let's say I want to know if Department of Labor have any grants. So I would go to their website, I Google Department of Labor, and then go to the search bar and put grants. Okay, so we just look at another way the 501c3 can be used for funding, seeking out funding. Okay, also, let me see, I hope it's in here. Okay. Also with the 501c3, I'm missing a slide, and for that I apologize. That 501c3 can also be used for sponsorship, and it could be used for fundraising. Okay, so it looked like I'm doing more than 14 different ways. I had a slide and somehow not. So you can write this down. You can use the 501c3 to seek out sponsorship. Okay, when I had a nonprofit, I did a dinner, an event, a dinner, and I had a bank, and the bank covered the conference. I had a conference. I had a conference, and then I had some businesses. Uh, I asked them to be sponsors. Now, when you do sponsorship, you have to offer them something. You have to offer them a sponsorship package. Okay, I need you to sponsor the youth summer camp. All right. In exchange for that, we will put you on our website. When we host our orientation, we will put you in the program. We will let you meet the youth. We will give you speaking time. So when you approach a person, a business, whoever, whomever, you have to offer them something in return. Let's say you do a gala, okay? And you tell them, okay, you could come in, I will give you a table. And on the table, you can have a display. Sometimes they want the sign-in sheet, the people that sign in and the email, and then they put them through their email system. And that way they have contact with them, and periodically they can send products, information. Okay. So you could use the 501c3 to seek sponsorship. You can have them sponsor an event. You can have them to sponsor, let me see what else. A program. Let's say you need a sponsor to put together a computer lab. Okay. So you can see sponsorship for an event, or for them to sponsor a program, or for them to sponsor a service. Let's say you have a women's support group, okay, and you want them to sponsor that, okay? And then some things you can offer, you can name a program after them. You can name the computer lab after them. You know, if your nonprofit have a building, got a lot of room, you can name a room after them. We're talking about sponsorship. Now, also with the 501c3, you could do what is called fundraising. You can raise funds. You know, people sell candy, they sell popcorn, they sell t-shirts, they sell water bottles, they sell pens, in the effort of raising money for the nonprofit. You need the 501c3 to do so, and fundraising. Okay, so I gave you more than 14 different ways. And remember I said, oh, wow, that there's some others. Okay, now I wanna offer, that concludes the workshop. I'm gonna have Q&A. I'm opening it up for Q&A. Okay, I have a special offer. I don't know if you all have the 501c3. I left it off. If you are in need of a 501c3, I will give a 10% discount and work on your 501c3. Or if you want grant research or grant writing, you get a 10% discount, and this is good till July 1st. So I do apologize. I forgot to list 501c3. Okay. Because I forgot there might be people that's interested in starting a nonprofit and came to see the benefits of having it by these different exemptions, you know, and opportunities that they might not have the 501c3 to even get started on these exemptions. So special offer good to July 1st, where I give a 10% discount on 501c3 or grant research or grant writing or all three, you know. So I want you to know that. For nonprofit, I have a book called Resource Development Going to the Next Level. Okay. It got all kind of ways to raise money for your nonprofit, as well as grant writing, how to write grants and how to do the letter of intent. And that is, it could be bought from my publisher. Here's my contact information. I have several books and I have ebooks. The ebooks is in my PayHip store. These 4 books is with my publisher. Okay. Okay, here's the 4th book, which I shared in the beginning, my journey into business. And then I'll repeat my disclosure that I'm not an attorney or a CPA or an accountant. Workbook, ebook, books and material are for educational and informational purposes. Other services that I provide: consultation, nonprofit startup, 501c3 assistant, sales tax exemption, workshop coaching. Okay. Okay. I have some workshops coming up next month. This is the Employee Retention Tax Credit Workshop. It is free. You can sign up for it. What a lot of people fail to realize, that when COVID hit, we were so focused on the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program, and we was focused on the EIDL, EIDL. But this program was out too, and didn't too many of us know about it, but our counterparts have taken advantage of it. You have to have employees. If you got a for-profit or a nonprofit and you got employees that have W-2, they not 1099, but they W-2. You can get, and you've been paying the taxes, you could get credited at least $26,000 per person, per employee. So I'm doing a workshop on June 18th about this. This will bring money into for-profits and nonprofit. This program is from the federal government. It's legit. It ranked up there with the EIDL and the PPP, Paycheck Protection Program. It just wasn't as advertised as the other two. And this program is going to expire April 2025. Then in June 25th, I'm going to have the free online grant application workshop where you can learn how to do your own grants. Then the how to use the 501c3 to get free property is going to roll right back around July 30th, okay, at 4 to 5:30 p.m. It's going to roll back around how to get free property with the 501c3. Okay, that's coming back. That workshop is $50. Okay. So, okay. Okay, I want to thank you. And right now we have Q&A. Don't forget your 2 gifts. Okay, I can stop and share, and then we do Q&A. Okay, everybody. Um, you have some questions for me. Don't forget your 2 gifts. One is the free 15-minute consultation, and the other one is your presentation. You should have it by Tuesday, the link to this presentation. So first I want to ask, was this helpful? Was this enlightening? Did you learn something that you didn't know?
This is Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was kind of a refresher for me because I kind of knew these things.
Okay.
I do have another question, if I may ask.
Sure.
My church is a startup church, and we're actually meeting in a hotel. And we meet twice a week in the hotel. So I'm sure you can imagine how much we're pretty much just spending the money for the hotel. Sometimes, you know what I mean? So
And you have a 501c3?
I have a 501c3.
Okay, let me mention this. That Chicago Public Library, they have meeting room. They also have, some of them, not all of them, auditorium. And with that 501c3, you fill out an application and you can meet at no charge.
But are they open on Sunday, the libraries?
Oh, that's the only time you can meet?
Well, we actually, yeah, I think they be closed. I think they close here. We're in Florida. I think they close here. We meet Friday night and Sunday morning at 11 for church. And then we do the Bible study on, conference call.
Mhm.
And prayer we do on a conference call. I mean, he does Bible study on Zoom, sorry.
Okay.
But
The
no.
best, I would say contact your library. In Chicago, they open on Sundays.
Oh,
But
okay.
they close early.
Right.
Like during the week, they open till like 9 p.m. And then on Saturdays and Sunday, they close at 5. That's how it is in Chicago. I don't know how it is in Florida. So my advice to you is to contact a library, because you may be surprised. They might be open on Sunday. And then you got that 501c3, fill out the application, go check out the library, check out the space. Library is known to have meeting rooms
Right.
and
Okay.
auditorium. So, and then that way you can keep that money.
Right.
Another option that you might consider is for space. You might want to consider talking to a local nonprofit that has property and asking if they could donate a space to you, and even a church, if they
Right.
could donate space to you. And then if you could run some of the program services. But when you deal with them, you would have to do what is called a memorandum of understanding.
Yes,
That's
MOU.
a document of who gonna do what everyone is agreeing to, so
Mhm.
that you don't run into conflicts and ill feelings and all that stuff. So yeah. So
So you mentioned the MW.
oh, wait a minute, wait, one more came to me. Thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay. Don't lose your thought.
Okay.
Your nonprofit have a bank account.
Oh, yes, we're 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your bank has space. They could donate. I'm telling you what I know.
Thank
When
you.
I had my nonprofit, they donated whenever I wanted to have board meetings. They allowed me to use their board room,
Wow.
and I order food. So
Wow.
bank, but they ain't gonna advertise this. You got to ask
Of
these people.
course.
Okay? So contact, you want to talk to a vice president or a bank officer,
Okay,
okay? And they have rooms.
okay,
Want them to donate a room, they get a write-off for letting you have the room. So that's
right,
another possibility.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're very
So
welcome.
Venetia had mentioned that you will help us to get grant ready. And I heard you mention the MBE, the
Yeah,
minority business enterprise.
okay.
Do you do that as a consultant?
That is a goal, but I don't see myself doing that until maybe mid or late 2024, 2025, because there's a
Okay,
lot into it.
okay,
It is a lot. And okay, as far as being grant ready, I cover that in that grant, how to write your own grant. That will be covered June 25th from 4 to 5:30. Because the first thing I talk about is, because I have had people, oh, Dr. Moore, I want a grant, I want a grant. And I'm like, okay, are you a nonprofit or a for-profit? And then they turned out to be neither. I say you gotta be, you gotta be one or the other. The funders do not give to individuals.
right.
So, okay, now get back to me. Tell me who you want to be. Okay. And then I go right into how, and I kind of touch on it a little bit here, how grants come about, their origin. Then I go around and I tell them, okay, so now you got your structure together. You have decided to be a nonprofit and you did that, this, and you're a 501c3. Okay, or I say, well, you're a for-profit and you got your business license, you got all that together. So then I tell them what the funders want. So that I cover those three areas, June 25th, and just to give you an idea, you'd be surprised. A lot of I've come across nonprofits and for-profit that didn't even have a website. So I cover that. They didn't have an email in their business or nonprofit name. Cover that. I go through what the funders are looking for. I go through that. So that's how I would help in getting grant ready in that session. Okay. You asked very good questions.
Okay. Well, my late husband retired me in 2007, and I mean, I thought it was a good thing. It was a good thing. It was a blessing because then I could give back more. You know, we were just doing little things like helping single moms, stuff like that, teaching financial literacy. And Chase and Wells Fargo, they did come out and facilitate that. And I got Dressed for Success one time to come to the college to do I like to play on different topics. So we did a fashion show on what to wear and then what not to wear.
Oh
And so,
wow.
yeah, so it was
That
fun.
that's different. Cause usually
Yeah,
they come pranting down with what they should wear, but what not to wear.
what not to wear.
That's different.
So we did it like the Gong Show, you know.
Oh,
So when you come through with what not to wear, you know, they modeling and carrying on, and then we go, don't, you know, pull them off the stage, you know. But I like to do things like that. So I wanted to ask you also, like, I know it's a lot of research involved because I took the class on a college level. Beverly, I forget her last name, but she taught it at Palm Beach State College, and it was a good class. It was like 9 weeks, I think. But even with that, she didn't focus on like the local grants. Like, can you, like, while we're waiting for you, I have to thank my good friend Venetia. This girl is my ride and live. I tell you, she and I sat down, put our heads together. put our head down and did our own budget logic model so that we both could have it. And she found you. So I'm grateful to her.
Wow.
So she found you and she gifted me with this class. So I got to shout my girl out. I love her to
Oh,
pieces.
thank you. That is so sweet.
Yeah,
That
she's
is
sweet.
so sweet. How
She
did
is
you
sweet.
find me, Miss Jordan?
I
People
had
talking
seen you. I had seen you on Shebox. I don't know. Can you hear
about,
me?
she about talk,
Yeah, we
right?
could hear you.
Oh, okay. I had found you on Shebox.talk, and then when we were just coming together, it jogged my memory because Mary was getting back on Shebox Talk, and so we were talking about the grants and stuff, and then I remembered you. But I had to find your name, so I went back through the videos to get your name.
Okay, good. Okay, Mary, can I call you Mary?
Absolutely.
Okay, can I rewind? I need to
Absolutely.
rewind. We want to go back to the
Yes,
bank.
Queen.
Back
Yes.
to the bank. So Wells Fargo got involved. They came out, right?
Mhm.
And they participated in your event. Did they
Oh,
give you
yes.
did they give you any moolah or they just showed up? You
Chick-fil-A
didn't get
came in with the food. They didn't give us any money. I did that at the college. And then Wells Fargo came in and did like we had classrooms set up where they could visit in, I want y'all to drop by this workshop because they teaching you how to balance your checkbook. Wells Fargo,
okay. Okay. They
I
can
just want to pick your
sponsor. They
brain.
can give you money.
Yeah.
Okay. Every bank have what is called, please don't ask me what it stands for. I used to know. CRA. The
Yes,
letter
ma'am.
C, the letter R, and
Community
A.
revitalization.
Officer. They are in charge of donation.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find out who the CRA officer of that bank.
Now I have the one for my bank.
Huh?
Truist, who was it? SunTrust and BBT came together, I think. So I have heard, Venetia and we're gathering information from you so we know how to approach her. Because when
Okay.
I opened the account, I opened another account because I also wanted to ask you about the diversification department because they said that they have funds for they call it grassroots organizations, what they called us. But I
But
can't
what?
get in contact with that person. But I
Okay.
do have the person for Truist.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of feedback, so I lost what you said.
Okay, so Wells Fargo, I know about the CRA because we were trying to we actually developed, wrote the 501c3 so that we could get involved with the CRA.
Mhm.
Because the banks go into their portfolios of foreclosed properties and they donate them.
Yeah, they
So
do.
a guy at my church approached me. I did a breakfast for the pastors. And so he asked me if I was 501c3 and I said yes. So that's how that came up. He said, you could get property? And I said no. So he is
That's
what
one
that,
of that I talk about that in my workshop, how to get
okay.
free property. That's one of them, the bank. That's
That's
a
the
good
one we really want
I
that.
have a client, not meaning to cut you off.
No.
I'm so proud of him. Wells Fargo gave him 7 houses. And then they turned around and gave him the money. This
That's
said
what I heard.
community revitalization program. And he got a background in rehabbing. So he had the property rehab and made it available for low income. So back to the CRA officer. Did you ask for money? You have to ask. Did you ask? You got to give them a dollar amount. Did
But
you
that
ask?
I did not ask them for money.
And you know
Did not
what?
know.
Well, you know now, and they not gonna offer. They
Right.
want to get off as cheaply as possible. They don't mind going and passing out some pens in the
Right.
little posted,
Right,
and like you said, teach a little course. Oh,
yeah,
they don't mind that.
they don't
You
mind.
got to ask for the money.
So I would
You
ask
have
them
to
for,
sub- You have to submit what is called a letter of intent. I
okay,
teach that. Or you could go to my pay here and you can download it. I forgot how much it costs. It's not that much. And it will tell you step by step how to put a letter. It's not a regular letter. It's a letter with grant language in it. Proposed. You
right,
gotta talk to them
your
a certain
language.
way. So you got a choice of going to the pay here store or wait for it to come. So I don't know. That probably be in the fall. So my suggestion is go to the pay here store and download it. It's real simple. People love it. It's to the point. It's not technical because I am a down-to-earth person, a plain speaking person. I don't believe in being way up here. I made a promise to God. I went to a workshop that slapped me so hard. I didn't know nothing. I walked in not knowing, and when I sat up there for 3 hours, I came out and didn't know nothing because they were way up here. I'm like, what in the world? Felt like I've been hit with something. And I said, God, if you ever let me teach people,
Mm,
I'm gonna bring it down. See, I'm a simplify it. That's the type of person I am. I simplify stuff.
I appreciate that.
Even though I have 7 degrees, I'm not up there. I don't even have my degrees on the wall. They packed away in my closet. It means nothing to me, like Apostle Paul. I count it all done.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be preaching up in here, but
We receive it. One more question.
Mhm.
Miss,
So,
what you like? We're together till 5:30.
oh, okay.
It's
So
5:13.
I see Rita McClendon. That's your daughter?
That's my daughter. She's my business partner. And she in her PJ, so she ain't coming off the camera.
I don't blame it. It's okay. Look, I'm at my daughter's house. I'm so cold. I got this whole thing. I had it
Oh
on
my
my head.
goodness!
It's like 50 degrees in here.
But you
And
in
I'm
Florida.
grateful.
You in Florida, right? Aren't y'all supposed to
That's
be
how we do it. I do it at my house too. But I'm at 60 degrees. She's at 50. So, but I have one more question because I'm a McClendon descent and I see that your last name is Moore. So I'm wondering, do you all know Crystal Moore? Because we're
No.
gathering the McClendons together. Miss
Oh,
Rita
you
born
know,
a McClendon?
Rita, you could come off the mic. My
I mean,
ex-husband,
if you don't mind me,
his name is Carl McClendon. I was married, but I kept more.
what's
I
his
just kept
name?
Carl, Carl, and he's
Oh,
from Arkansas. Well, his real name is Carl Lee,
okay.
Carlee.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Lee
Mm-hmm.
McClendon.
Okay,
That's his
I
name.
was just wondering. I was like, wow, I wonder if she's
You can go back on
you're
mic,
related.
Rita. Okay. And then he got a sister named Dolores. That family is from Arkansas.
Okay.
I don't know if you know a Ruth McClendon or a TC McClendon.
I'm writing all these names down because we're putting the book together.
Okay.
And if
I'm
she'd
gonna
like
look
to
at
be a
it.
part of it, she's more than welcome. But yeah, I'm just gathering it. So imagine my joy when I saw, I thank God the McClendons were my cousins, and my mother's first cousins and all of that stuff, because a lot of them were up to 0. But God bless them. I love them. God knows I love my family.
Okay.
But,
You
you
had
know,
any Moors in your family?
my sister married a Moor. And see, why I ask you, imagine when I see Moore and McClendon, because my cousin Crystal Moore, she and I just found each other maybe 3 months ago.
Whoa.
She's in Niceville, Florida. I think it's called Niceville. but because they traveled so much, the McClendons, like me, she's a descent. So my grandmother was a McClendon. She's still a McClendon. She's passed on, but she's still a McClendon. And so when I saw your daughter's name, I'm like, and it's even spelled the way, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
So there are some names that needs to be plugged in, but if she wants, she could find me on Facebook, Mary Cookie
Are you
Deal.
listening, Rita? Okay, why don't you say hello to Miss Mary Deal?
Call me Mary.
Yeah,
Hey, darling, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
she coming over here.
Good, good. I'm just
She
wondering
turned her
if you're my
mic
little
on
cousin.
because we're in the same room. Come on,
Oh, okay.
come on. You might have a relative here. How did you find out? Through Ancestry?
Some of us did Ancestry. Let me see, Kathy McClendon, she did Ancestry, but she's doing whatever she can because she's born a McClendon and she didn't know any of her dad's people and neither did he. So
Okay.
their journey started this year, I believe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So she's creating the tree and the I don't want to take up all the time with that. Go ahead, Venetia.
Oh, no, my question was, I heard you say the pay to link, if I'm not mistaken, how we can, so with that, we're able to, I heard you say about the letter of intent, we're able to purchase that or?
Yeah. You can go to pay help. Rita, can you put the link in? I'm gonna have her put the link in the chat, okay?
Okay, thank
Hold on
you.
1 second. Rita, put the link in the chat. I admitted you because you can't. Okay, she's gonna put it in the chat and it tells you step by
Hey.
step how
Oh,
to do the
Jesus,
letter.
yeah, you're a McClendon. Girl, you're a McClendon.
Oh, she came off camera, okay.
Yes, okay, Mom. Hi. So I'm a decent. My grandmother was a McClendon. And I don't know, I just love my family. I just keep dreaming that there's thousands of us. And so far there's 4,000.
Ooh.
But there's 4,000, but I'm in like 5 different groups. Kathy is trying to, she started in her house. You know how you have the long wall in your house? She's
She
got that.
got a tree.
Yeah, she's trying to do the tree and she's gone all the way across. I haven't talked to her because I've been busy with this. But whenever I see that name, especially spelled like yours, Rita, I'm like, that's my cousin. So I claim you, sis.
I claim you too.
Thank you, girl. I am just, if you find me on Facebook, I'll send you the invite.
Okay.
And you can look, or you could just look at Kathy McClendon because she's a fisherman too. So
And
she,
you know what? I believe this is God because, after the divorce, children tend to be closer to their mom.
Mom's
And
side.
I tried real hard to get her to develop, to strengthen her relationship with her father and her father family, but she just wouldn't do it. And I was like,
No.
a couple of weeks ago, I said, this don't make no sense. I did a research on her mother. I did a research. I said, your mother's side. I found out that our origin is from Iran, of all places, okay? Iran, Nigeria, and England. Those are the predominant race in our bloodline. And I told her, I said, you know nothing about your father's side. I know a little bit. I did meet your grandmother, and she did have a chance to hold you before she passed. And
Do
I
you
knew
remember her name?
Oh, yes. The grandmother name was Ruth McClendon.
Ruth?
Ruth, like the Ruth in the Bible.
Yes.
And her husband was T.C. McClendon.
I think they on the wall.
Get out of here.
I'm getting chills. I promise you. Jesus.
There's a Ruth McClendon.
Ruth McClendon and T.C. McClendon. I think it's on the wall.
Ooh, I can feel you. I see it. Oh my God. And I was on her 2 weeks ago. I said, this don't make no sense. You're not showing no interest. You need to know. And Ruth was I met Ruth when after I married her son. And she was beautiful at 70 something. She could pass for white, but she chose not to. She
Yeah.
chose not to. She
Yeah.
had a sister named Annabelle. Do you remember seeing Annabelle on the wall? She
I
got a
don't
sister
remember
named. Now
Annabelle.
I'm gonna give you the name of the children. See, that's
Okay.
all I know. I know that family from Arkansas. That's where they originate from, as far as United States. But with McClendon, I'm sure that's Irish. So anyway, I'm gonna give you the name of the children.
Okay.
Okay, there's Shirley McClendon. She passed last year. Did Shirley pass last year or a year before? There's Shirley, there's Claude Esther.
Clark, Esther,
Claude Esther.
oh, Claude.
Okay,
Claudester.
well spell it, Rita.
I think it's CLAUDVESTER.
Oh, Claude, yeah, that's a popular name with them. Mm-hmm.
And then there's Louise. Then there's Dolores. They had a lot of kids. Then there's
Charles Lee.
wait a minute. Okay, yeah, thanks, Rita. Carl Lee, and then Charles Lee.
Harley. Now, Harley is my great grandfather's name.
No, Carly, Carlee.
Okay, Carly. Okay,
Uh-huh. And then Charles Lee.
Charles.
Uh,
Okay,
Then they had one baby that died. Didn't live too long. So
okay.
uh-huh. So wow. Two names on the wall. Okay.
Wow.
Now, Rita, you need to talk to your dad. Okay.
Yeah. Can I give you my number?
Yes.
Okay, get your pen so you can write it down. And don't forget to
You want to
send
put
a
it in the
photo.
chat? Or
Her
no?
name is Mary
Yes.
Deal. And you want to send a friend request.
Should I put it in the chat or just say it?
Either one. I got
Okay.
a notepad out.
754
All the way in Florida.
754
204
204
1267.
1267. I'm gonna
Yes.
save it in my phone too.
Awesome.
Yeah, call each other up. Her
Yeah.
number 773 407
Uh-huh.
5372.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah, what part of Florida are you all in?
I'm from Miami. Venetia.
I'm from Homestead, Florida.
Is that far from each other?
Sort of,
Yeah.
kind of, not really.
Yeah. Yeah. What, like what?
3 counties. I'm
Yeah.
yeah, 3 counties.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said you had some more in your family. Do you have a David Moore? Do you remember a David Moore?
Oh,
Get it.
Crystal Moore. I don't know who Crystal Moore. I don't know Crystal's connection,
Okay.
but I'm telling you, when y'all look on there, hold on, let me, I'm gonna tell you what to look for the, cause she named it, it's some other family in there that she named the page. But, and look who pops up, Kathy McClendon. As soon as I put it in there, that's her. It's under, oh, somebody pregnant having a baby. Okay. Let me see if I can find that page. It's called Franklin Bryant. It's
Franklin dash Bryant.
F-R-A-N
Rita, will you write that down? Franklin dash,
Bryant with the T on the end.
uh-huh,
And then McClendon. That's the new page that she put up.
okay.
And if you go on there, oh, they done started putting all kind of stuff now. But you will see where she has that her living room is full of it. So what I've been doing, and if you have like old pictures, people are posting old pictures. I don't know if y'all can see that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that.
You
Uh-huh.
can see that? It's
Yeah.
blurry to me.
Yeah, it's
But
a little blurry.
she's asking people. So that's Ida Mae McClendon Walton. She's a daughter of Lemon McClendon.
Pick it up.
Mm.
So if you just scroll down there, because right now she's asking for pictures and, you know, who you're related to. She's actually going to put together a yearbook. This is her, Kathy. She's a fisherman. So she calls herself, let's see. Sometimes she have it on her shirt, but she has a YouTube channel too. She's born in McClendon.
Mm.
So she's got a January McClendon. She really found a lot of them and found out because they were somehow an Indian got up in there.
Yeah, we got on her mother's side, I don't know about her dad's side, but we got Indian on our side.
Yeah. So
And my great grandmother used to say we had Indian blood. And then when I did that ancestry, it popped up.
yes, yes. Because we had January, I think January is the one that was the Indian. January McClendon. That's a male.
Mhm.
But this page has gone on and on. But if you look on that page, you're gonna see. So what I do is I go through and I invite as many McClendons as I have, because over the years they just find me and they're like, "Oh, you the lady so-and-so say call you because so-and-so sick and you need to pray." I say, okay, you know, however we got to do it, we got to do what we got to do. And they gone on about the business, you know, and then some of them, they young and they foolish. And I say, baby, I love you, but I ain't finna have that booty shaking on my page. So
Right.
later,
They
you say,
call it
deuces. No, I'm out. I want that booty
Uh,
shaking on my page. You open up your page and all you can see, I'm like, what is this? I'm turning the phone, and then when you realize what it is, oh Jesus. Yeah, so wow, I'm gonna keep in contact with you because I really want to
Yeah,
know
same here,
if
same here.
those are your people.
Yeah.
Y'all people, because they're your people too. Even though you divorced them, I don't blame you. If they got that foolery going on, deuces, nigga. Venetia know me.
Oh, wait a minute. Rita's saying something. What'd you say, Rita?
I believe we are related because we got similar eyes.
I tell you, let me tell you something. My grandmother put this in me. I could spot a McClendon and my mom married him, baby. I know them babies, honey. They used to bring me them babies, say, this my baby. I said, you know, you was with her, right? Yeah, but I don't know. I say, child, please, dismiss. You are the father.
Oh, you was around before Mari, huh?
Thank you. You are the father. So I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean to dominate. I get so excited with that.
I'm excited. I enjoyed
Oh,
it.
that was
I
beautiful.
want to stay in contact with you, Carl.
Awesome.
And I enjoyed this moment. Miss Jordan, you got anything else to say before we go?
No, we're definitely gonna keep in contact and
This is like a
excited
family.
about the trainings.
We gotta get those buildings.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because we got work to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you all coming to the employee tax retention workshop?
What?
It's a free workshop.
It's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the chat.
Okay. Let me go to the chat.
So we need to click on the link. Is that it?
You click on the link and sign up.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, and don't forget how to learn how to write your own grant. That's free too.
Yeah.
And then the one for the property is $50. But I have enjoyed talking to you, lady. This training, this teaching, and then a family reunion. Hallelujah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Thank you
And
all
I'm
so
gonna get
much.
on Rita to talk to her dad. Okay,
Yes,
Mary.
Rita, whatever happened, it happened. I divorced my girl's father too, and I still said, because you don't know, and I'm that daughter that took care of my dad, who was not a nice guy, but he spent his last 2.5 years in my house with me.
Oh,
And to God be the glory.
yes.
God be the glory.
Yes.
Because when you do that, you just follow what God tell you to do. My daughter even said, she said, I don't know how you did that. She said, I know it was but by the grace of God. Because he was not good to my mother. He was not.
Put that over
So
there.
whatever happened, just know that your journey is tied to your dad, regardless of what he do, how he treat you and your mother and your business. Because he got to answer to God. I promise you that. I promise you that. But you be the best example. You hear what your mother's saying? She wants that for you.
Yes.
She wants you
Yes.
to have that. You deserve that, sweetie, regardless of he being a butt, regardless of how he behaving. Sometimes they just need more time, girl, to grow up. I'm sorry. But sometimes they do, but you don't want the time to leave and you not have the opportunity to say, hey, and your mother wants that. She needs that. She needs that. Because I know what it's like. I went through it with 2 girls and my baby daughter whose house I'm in right now. She's 39. She did not know him. That's right. Because I will not tolerate anything less than what I need. So your mother needs
ladies,
that.
I hate to let y'all go, but I gotta go. I gotta eat. I'm getting hungry.
Oh yes, go eat. Love y'all.
Okay.
Thank
So
y'all.
I enjoyed it. We're gonna be in touch.
Yes, good. Yes, we are.
Take care.
Okay.
Later,
Bye-bye.
Bye. Talk to you later.
All right.